Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird, the Blackbird Grimoire. Welcome to the daily forecast for Friday, September 20th, 2024. Guys, I apologize for the typos today. Apparently, I was in more of a hurry than I thought. Anyway, it is the day of the lovers. It is Venus's day, Freya's day, Frigga's day, the 30th of Virgo, the 18th of Vine, the 30th of Bear, and the 21st of Timandor. So our sun is in Virgo, mutable earth, representing industry. The moon is third quarter Taurus, fixed earth, creating value. Mercury is in Virgo, mutable earth, representing linguistic skill. Venus is in Libra, cardinal air, representing harmony. Mars is in Cancer, cardinal water, which is seeking security. Jupiter is in Gemini, mutable air, representing questing. Saturn is retrograding Pisces, mutable water, which is to redefine dreams. Uranus is retrograding in Taurus, fixed earth, representing rebellion. Neptune is retrograding in Pisces, mutable water, which is spiritual awakenings. And Pluto is retrograding in Capricorn, cardinal earth, which is about transformation. Our retrograde reminders: Saturn, reclaim your authority. For Uranus, reconsider how you rebel. For Neptune, reclaim your magic. For Pluto, reclaim your ability to regenerate. And for Chiron, restore the heroic spirit. Our waning gibbous moon means it's time for us to absorb revelations. For the Taurus moon, the dues are grounding work, realism, sensuality. Taurus is a very tactile, and so it's not just sensuality in the sense of sexuality. It is about what your physical senses are reporting to, your eyes, your ears, what you can smell, what you can taste, what you can touch, all of these things put together. It's about enjoying essentially all of the textures of life that your senses can report to you. Now, the don'ts for the Taurus moon are attempting to change anyone's mind. Not the day. Not the day, gang. Anything that requires fast reactions and having to improvise. Taurus moon just doesn't really excel at any of those things. So on this day of Venus, we have a Libra Venus and we have a Taurus moon, and it's going to be all about having a cozy night in with your special someone. Your issues can wait for the moment. Going out and about, probably best postponed. Seems like more of a day to just find some quiet, find some privacy, just enjoy each other's company in a quiet way outside of public viewing. It's about focus on you and your sweetie tonight. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from all of this. Next up, our tarot of the day is the Page of Swords. Page equals apprentice. And for the swords, think the rational masculine, projective energy, air element, and thought. The keywords for this card are honesty, fearless self scrutiny, and finding the measure of things. So the page wants to figure it all out, and it's going to do this in a quantifiable way. It's going to result in meaningful action, and it's going to really understand what's what. And you can't do any of that if you're not honest with yourself. And I do think that self deception is the worst kind of lie, because what hope is there for you to be honest with anyone else about anything else if you can't even be honest within yourself, within the privacy of your own soul? So the Page of Sword, I think, is encouraging us to really question ourselves. Are we being honest with ourselves? Can we make some improvements with that? And are we willing to look at something and just see what it is? Not what we wish it would be, not what we fear it will be, but what the thing actually is. Are we willing to do that? Or are we wanting to cling to our preconceptions and our preferences? So that's what I'm getting from the Page of Swords today. Next slide. If we have a Celtic triad, there are three types of contract, all binding before the mighty ones and before humankind. That which is established by the spoken words, that which is established by the written words, and that which is ordained by the re or the rian. So, verbal contracts are bonds of honor. Breaking them or seeking to squirm out of them reveals bad character and bad intention. I said what I said. Written contracts have even greater force, as the terms and signatures are there to be seen at any time without question or confusion. These are obligations that people have willingly undertaken. And then, as far as the what is ordained by the Ree and the Rian, the Ree were kings and the Rian were vassal lords, and they had authority to make laws, solemnize public agreements, make things official, fully in the most legal sense of the term, and before the eyes of the entire community. So all of these contracts And the fact that they are binding before the mighty ones, essentially the gods, and before the rest of the human species, it is just another admonition about how serious this kind of thing is. If we are giving our word, no matter in what form it is or the reason for it, our highest duty is to fulfill that word. Uh, and, we need to have a return to a sense of personal honor. And that can be difficult. It's like, well, how can I, why should I be honorable when nobody else is? Well, it begins by people leading the way and people saying, this is how I'm going to behave, and I'm not going to have dealings with people who are falling too far short of this. And I'm going to, through contracts and through legal mechanisms, hold them accountable if they do fall short and if they decide to break agreements with me. It is the practice of honor that will actually restore to the world. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of trouble. Is anything worthwhile not a lot of trouble? Just tossing that out there. But yes, I mean, be part of the people who are saying, you know what, we this current state of affairs that we have, where people are have no honor and they're just out for whatever they can get, and any dirty trick they can play is exactly what they're going to do. How about we start rejecting those people? How about we stop uh, having dealings with them so far as humanly possible? Why don't we start isolating them and saying, you know what, if you're going to be having dealings with me, if we're going to have any kind of relationship, if we're going to work together, even you're gonna have to come up to scratch, and if you don't, well, there were other people who could be fulfilling that role. Uh, People only continue on a dishonorable path because they have no consequences for it. So, it may feel small, but our own way of imposing some consequences, of course, in a legal context, that is a way of telling those people, yeah, not dealing with you. You don't get to benefit from being dishonorable. So, moving on. Today's magical correspondences are about happiness. The color is orange, the plant is the sunflower, the animal is the butterfly, and the crystal is the sunstone. I truly do believe that the root of all happiness can be found in appreciation. The more we can find to appreciate, the better we feel, and this adds up to happiness that isn't just a good mood, but also a kind of a form of contentment that there are things in the world that are good, that are wonderful, that we love, that continue to exist even on the worst of days. Now, for our practice, romanticizing autumn has become quite a trend. What do you consider to be the most romantic, or really, I suppose a better word would be the most poetic aspect of the season? Because romanticism, it isn't necessarily about two people getting together and having a relationship and going on an adventure and ending up together. That is part of romance, but romantic. It's romance is also about the adventure of discovery, the adventure of appreciation, experiencing life on the poetic level, almost the operatic level, and not just having everything be mundane of, oh well, one day's just like another, everything's just kind of even and beige and blah. um, Autumn is a time that people really connect with, going a bit beyond just kind of the humdrum of the everyday, or at least appreciating the everyday, and not permitting life to be boring, having a better attitude towards it all. So uh, what is uh, what is that for you? And then next on the list is listing the benefits of your natal Venus sign as contrasted with the current Venus position. And then for your third eye chakra, where is your intuitive vision blocked? It would be the rare person indeed who has no blocks whatsoever on their third eye chakra and whose intuition is completely attuned with all of their surroundings and everyone in them. That would be a remarkable, fearsome person to behold. But you can be aware of where you have blocks or where you might have a blind side, and you can decide whether or not that's something that you want to work on right at this moment, or if it's something that, maybe not just yet, maybe there's other things on the priority list that you need to take care of first. But just be aware. And then today's hermetic principle is cause and effect. What notable consequences have you been observing? Everywhere we look, there's a lot of fallout, and it's clear that it's a cumulative effect. It's not just this one example of circumstances or this one event or just this one thing isolated all by itself. There's so many things that are going on are the result of a series of decisions, a series of actions that have led us to this point, and it's really giving us quite an indictment on a lot of different ways of thinking and a lot of ideologies. So, where are the consequences? Because judging things by their consequences is probably a lot more productive than judging it just by its intentions. Then, for the witch's pyramid, we're looking at the interior today, and the interior is supposed to be filled with love. Where are you lacking love in your practice? That's something to think about. And then for today's journal prompt, what colors, textures, and prints do you like to incorporate in your bedding in autumn and why? Now, the reason why I'm asking this in the context of a witchy show is because the colors we choose, the textures we choose, everything that we do that we put inside of our homes, it also has magical and symbolic properties. Now, we can use these intentionally, we can use them very thoughtlessly, but they're always going to be present. So, what are you intentionally bringing into your space? Why do you want it there? I mean, for me, if I had my druthers right now, I'd probably get this really deep saffrony bedspread. I'd get some of those more chunky Afghans with a really thick yarn. Find some quilts that have autumnal colors. Embroider some new pillowcases that maybe have leaves of all different colors and just have all of this bright, exuberant, beautiful explosion of autumnal color in its full glory. And the reason why I would go that way is because one, that would make me feel very cozy, and I want to feel very secure in my nest at this time of year. But also, it's because I one of the things I love about autumn is how it's this last big hurrah, the last big explosion of life, the last, we're going to be in full bloom. We're going to be making things. Everything is coming to fruition. It's, coming to that last chapter of the book and everything's getting tied up and wrapped up and you're getting a really satisfying conclusion. And that's essentially the atmosphere that those kinds of colors and textures would really bring for me. Now, the question is, what does that do it for you? Because whatever is giving you that cozy feeling is, probably what you're needing to be having in your home, so far as, what budget allows, because pesky money. It's always getting in the way of fun, isn't it? So, on that note, have a very magical day, everyone. The Blackbird Grimoire does appear on YouTube and Rumble. If you are not following me on Rumble, I do encourage you to do so, just in case, YouTube has one of its little temper tantrums and decides that for whatever reason I'm on their bad list. So, to forestall against that possibility, do look me up on Rumble. And of course, if you're looking for a bit of witchy company, you can join the Oak and Elder Witchery on Gilded, link in the description box. And hope to see you soon. But I think that'll do it for now, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.